this woman is profiting off of your ill health. You understand that this is for everyone else watching who may try and actually listen to her advice. Even worse, people who may see her as affirming their poor decisions. Let me tell you something. You follow this, you will have health problems and you will die young. We've talked about this a lot. Everyone talks about their rights. Everyone talks about their rights. And yes, we live in a free society. Rights are very important. And if you want to know which rights are actually inalienable, meaning your birthright here in the United States, check out the Constitution, check out the amendments. We don't often balance rights with duties. We used to have a sense of duty. Funny enough, duty was very much espoused by the founding fathers, who were not communists, who were not collectivists, but who believed that a society could only function if people actually took pride in serving their community and their civic duties. Today we talk about rights, and we talk about rights in the sense of whatever you want to do and everyone else has to pay for it. So in San Francisco, the Department of Health now has hired Virgie Tovar to be its fat positivity expert.
The name sounds
of all the things. Here's the thing: of all the things that San Francisco needs, fat expert would not have cracked my top 10.
No, I thought they had plenty of those already.
But they said she is going to advise on matters of weight stigma and weight neutrality. Let me tell you who this person is. We have a clip, so warning. According to the website, Tovar is a plus-size Latina author, lecturer, and leading expert on weight-based discrimination and body positivity with over a decade of experience. She is a contributor for Forbes.com, where she covers the plus-size market and how to end weight discrimination at work. Also, she topped their 30 under 500 list last year, so she did quite...
Over.
30 over.
Over. Sorry. Close. Over.
That's what happens when we don't write it down.
Oh, the picture's nice.
Also, it's a little misleading. She actually covers Forbes.
Oh, that's what she meant.
Now, here's the thing.
My God.
This is not just about the fact that this woman is overweight. This is the fact that this woman is advising now a city council, a city department, and the advice that she dispenses is it will put you in a shallow grave. Not all bodies are healthy. Not all lifestyles are healthy. And we have a healthcare, well, everyone seems to agree we have a healthcare crisis in this country because so many people gleefully celebrated the death of a CEO of a health insurance company. You think that a rampant obesity epidemic through choice has an effect on your insurance and your premiums? Think it has an effect on the mental health crisis that we're experiencing in this country? So if you ever thought that you were delusional yourself, just take a look here at Tovar's take on, I don't even know what this means, fat liberation. If you are a giant fat lady in the United States in 2024, how much more liberating do you need? You couldn't be more liberated. Clearly, there are no constraints.
Free the pandas.
Let's watch.
To me, there's a lowercase fat liberation and an uppercase fat liberation. Lowercase fat liberation is the stuff I do in my life every day to create fat positivity, like putting as much butter as I want on my toast,
That's
like
just more fat.
wearing a bikini at the beach, finding a sturdy chair, getting a towel that fits me, telling the truth about my experience with
Like a
fatphobia
parachute?
and feeling heard and believed.
You're seen.
Not trying to disappear or shrink my body.
Couldn't.
It looks like asking for weight neutral care at the doctor. It looks like wearing shorts and having visible cellulite or fat rolls and not feeling like I should not show that to the world. Uppercase fat
have we asked you not
liberation
to?
to me is the world that we create once the culture has decided to really finally end fat phobia. In that world, fat kids are never taught shame. They're never put on a diet by a doctor.
Yeah,
they
beat up
never
parents.
stop learning how to move and eat for fun and for joy.
Well, here's the thing. I would agree with you that fat kids should never be shamed because we shouldn't have fat kids. They shouldn't be put on a diet by a doctor because their parents should control what they eat. They don't have money.
Yes.
Now, this lady, everything that she just said is wrong, to be clear. And it's not about, you'll say, oh, you're being mean. This is not about her. This woman is profiting off of your ill health. You understand that this is for everyone else watching who may try and actually listen to her advice. Even worse, people who may see her as affirming their poor decisions. Let me tell you something. You follow this, you will have health problems and you will die young. Let me be really clear about that. There's no way around that. Trust the science. Remember, this lady wrote her master's on the study of how weight-based discrimination impacted lifelong gender trajectories in women of color.
Oh, Lord.
By a white lady?
Ish. I don't fully know.
Latino.
San Francisco, how about dealing with needles and piles of human crap in your city? How about rampant crime?
Yeah, Asian hate. Stop Asian hate.
Stop Asian hate. Oh, you want to make sure that we study gender norms and trajectories of color as it relates to fat phobia? This woman also is the author of the book, You Have the Right to Remain Fat, which will bring us to a 7+1 later.
For a limited time.
Anything you eat can and will be used against you in the hospital.
Yes.
In your arteries.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in the food court of law.
There we go. That was nice.
Brought to you by Sparrow.
Every decision's a good one.
But this is the byproduct of, look, shame is you should never shame a child, for example, for they don't know better, right, for making a mistake, because then those kids won't make more mistakes. They won't take risks. They won't learn things. Shame is a tool that should be used for adults who know better and do the wrong thing anyway.
Yes.
But it doesn't work if people don't have shame because they have no sense of ownership. They have no sense of duty.
Yeah.
So this woman espouses a lot of views. I've gone through her social media, combed through it.
Also, shame only works if you are ashamed.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know you're wrong. That's how shame, you know you're wrong. That's why you feel shame.
She doesn't. She's not just advocating bad policies for adults. At the end of that, I wrote this down. She said, I want kids to be able to eat for joy and for fun. That is literally not even close to why you eat.
It's the definition of privilege. Then she's going to tell you to check white privilege. You think that the Hutu tribesmen on the plains are saying, well, what would be fun for dinner?
I don't know. Whatever's around.
Imagine a world where you're like, let's go have some fun and play dodgeball. No. Let's go eat donuts instead, because that's more fun.
More fun.
Yeah.
Go out and play.
Yeah.
Playing isn't playing anymore. It's eating.
I don't want it to be misery. It's not where I want you to direct. Like a little bit of joy, yeah, fine, absolutely. But if you've got a fat 5-year-old, like a morbidly obese 5-year-old, there's a parent that needs a butt kicking.
Yes.
Right behind that child, because they have no money. They have no agency either. They can't go and get food on their own. You're bringing it to them.
The left is obsessed with abusing children. Do you
Yes.
understand that? With drag queen story hour, with transition surgery for children, with allowing young adolescent women to have abortions and hiding it from their parents as a result of state policy, and with allowing and encouraging young children to destroy their health. So let's get to some of the claims that this expert makes, and will be likely dispensing and advising the city of San Francisco. It's time for a Claim Truth. All right, this all
Since
comes...
that happened, actually, we just found out that due to her, we found MSG is good for you.
Well, that's everything old is new again.
Yeah.
I don't know if MSG is...
Can we put cocaine back in Coca-Cola then? Because, woo, those were good times.
Yes, it was. And I believe it was, what was in 7-Up? Was it some kind of...
Something.
Some kind of...
Barbiturate?
It might have been...
I don't know.
Lithium? I don't know. You guys can let me know. No, I'm not joking. There was something in there that was like an
Helium.
antidepressant.
Weird.
Let me get to a claim here, and this all comes from Virgie. I have her name right? Virgie?
Veggie? No, that's not right.
Virgie's Instagram.
There's no way.
She's an expert. Here's the claim. That exercising to stop being fat is fat phobic. Can you bring this up? Noodles? How do you decouple physical movement from diet culture and from fat phobia? It's very, very hard. In our culture, movement is about erasing and eradicating the fat body.
Yeah.
My body remembers this fact, and it takes so much concentration and encouraging self-talk to begin to continue. So here's the thing. She actually wants to find a way to move and not burn calories. This she's like, because I want to move, but this is also what happens. You have these people, it's like, it happens with sometimes comedians or actors, like, I'm the fat comic, I'm the fat actor, right? That happened with Melissa McCarthy, and then people begrudge you. Happened with Adele. They begrudge you for losing weight because these people are blubbery fascists. The truth is that exercising, of course, and getting healthy is not fat phobic. Exercise will not only help you lose weight, but it helps regulate blood pressure, it helps boost your energy, helps you sleep better. Obesity, depression are often interlinked, which may explain why this woman is absolutely miserable. Let's go to another claim that she makes here. And all references are available publicly. We put the links up in the description. She's talking about how you find comfort and how you do this. Here's the advice from the expert. Mm-hmm. She says, how do you decouple? Okay. Here's how you decouple physical exercise from the idea of fat phobia. She says, flowers help. Fact check, they don't.
In fact, flour makes you fat.
Comfy sweatshirt. Just comfy sweatshirts help. Okay, that does if it's applied to the bystanders.
Sure.
If they watching you, it would be preferable if you wear
Better
a
than the
comfy sweater.
swimsuit, yeah.
Then she goes on, she says, not keeping a score helps. All right, let's get to the truth. Keeping score is, in fact, completely a requirement to improved health outcomes.
You know who never said that? The winners.
Yeah, keeping score helps. If you want to get healthy, this is not about getting healthy. It's about feeling healthy. It's about feeling good about yourself even when you shouldn't feel good about yourself. What do I mean keeping score? Okay, if you want to lose weight, in her case weights, you want to lose weight, calories must be reduced. You must count calories, or energy output has to be measurably increased to lose weight, meaning you either burn more calories or you consume fewer calories. It's energy expenditure. It has to be tracked. Just to be clear, it is. There's no way around it. Now, some people have slightly faster metabolism. Some people have slower metabolism. Some people have hormonal profiles that make them feel more hungry more often. We all have different hurdles to overcome. Also, as we're discussing not only energy expenditure, you need to keep score if you want to improve your health. Progressive overload is the one inescapable fact as it relates to strength training. Okay, meaning measurably increase your weight, your repetitions, your time. Ideally, some variation of the three is what will improve your strength, which is very important as you get old. It's what will improve your muscle mass if you want to look better, if you want to be more productive, and even bone density. Just to be clear, not keeping score helps. Children, women, by the way, we don't need to say this to men because if men are fat, they know they're fat. There are no male fat pride models. We'll get to the dad bod thing in a second. Like, show me the male Tess Holliday. Show me the male Virgie. No, don't take a really, really funny, talented comedian like Chris Farley. They weren't sex symbols. Find me the male equivalent who everyone praises as beautiful and brave. It doesn't exist. No. Also, monitoring blood test numbers. I know that's keeping score, but you need it because your heart is screaming at you that it's about to stop.
It's literally keeping score with each beat.
Yes. And with oppressive numbers like triglycerides, cholesterol, certain inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein. In other words, how can this woman advise a city? How can this woman, and this is the ideology of the left, how can this woman advise a city when she says don't keep score and that is the only way to improve health?
Especially in a city with so many hills.
Yes.
All you gotta do is walk.
I know. It's like you can't all take the streetcar.
Look, we'll just hang a couple of ring dings from the trolley and follow it up the hill.
Which, by the way, has a weight capacity.
Oh, no. Aw.
You don't want that thing malfunctioning and just rolling down the hill.
This is just, I know it seems, and it's fun, but it's evil. This is evil. This is actually evil ideology. Here's another claim. This is what she makes this claim. Weight is not she says, weight is not a consistent, reliable indicator of someone's health status. Okay? Trust the science. Here's the truth. Weight is one of, and often the most reliable indicator of health status. Most importantly, and the reason it's used is because it's the most readily available and inexpensive tool that you have as an indicator of one's health status. It's not the only one, to be clear, but it's a very important one.
Your body tells you.
And by the way,
if you bend over and it hurts.
If she wants to add context, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to take height into account, if you want to take, muscle into account, that's
Muscle
fine.
mass,
You know what? We'll add that to the list.
Of course.
I don't think she's scoring any higher, though.
No one's saying just BMI. And this same woman, if you go on Instagram, they bitch about the pharmaceutical industry because they hate Ozempic, right? They hate any type of weight loss drugs. They hate the idea of diabetes being a thing. So they'll talk about big pharma. But what do you think big pharma thinks when they go, wait a second. If someone comes in and says they have joint aches, we can convince people that it's fatphobic for the doctor to look at their weight first. Oh, so they're going to want to treat the symptom and get them pills right away. First diet, exercise, sleep. That should be the first thing the doctors look at.
Yeah.
It cures a lot of what ails you. Not everything. But if a doctor were to bring you into the office and you go, oh my gosh, I have no energy, I feel like I have circulatory problems, I'm losing my vision, my foot is turning blue, and they saw that you were 400 pounds and immediately said, well, let me give you this pill, that is malpractice.
That's why I like Asian doctors, because they go right to it.
Yeah.
I got a big cavity in my tooth, went to the dentist said, oh, it's because you're too fat. Eat too many sweets. I said, it's not sweets. He goes, oh, too many pork.
Yes.
That's more loving, though. It would be more loving for the city of San Francisco to have hog hunting helicopters just tranking fat people with Ozempic.
Yes.
Okay? It would be a more compassionate solution.
Just get some snipers out there.
That's a huge bitch.
Took down, tagged another hippo.
Seriously. Do you need me to say this? Because here's the thing. I'm not the expert, right? Do you really want to do the appeal to authority fallacy? Like, do I need to tell you that being overweight or being obese, right, contributes to heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and yes, even cancers? A 5 to 10% reduction in weight improves your chances of not getting the above listed illnesses. And by the way, it correlates with each percentage of weight lost. There's no way to escape it. Right now, this is men and women aren't a thing, right? It's an escape from reality. It's about how we feel. In this case, it's weight isn't, it's an oppression, fat phobia. There could not be a more privileged leftist point of view in the modern world than fat phobia is oppressive.
Obesity is the worst thing to use that feel argument for, too. Because you literally feel like shit.
Yeah.
I am a fat man. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a little chubby. And some days, I don't feel so good.
Well, but you're swinging a hammer, so good for you.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah.
So we'll get to it.
That's a whole different thing.
Hey,
Steven,
what?
come on. I'll show you at the Christmas
Oh,
party.
Tripod Josh, they call him. Now,
Anchors away.
here's you could excavate St. Nick's tomb with that thing.
Can I say this, by the way? Fat phobia?
Nice candy cane.
Probably one of the best phobias out there.
Yeah, it is.
Not a reasonable phobia. Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
afraid of it.
Yeah, I get
It
it.
comes with death.
Yeah, that's a good one. That'd be a Christmas carol like, Scrooge, you'll be visited by one spirit. It's the ghost of Christmas past telling you to stop being a fat son of a bitch. Like, what do you want? You're going to die. We don't have chains that'll fit you down here.
One more peppermint bark and you're going to be in that grave.
Here's another claim that she makes, that being fat, and this is where is a civil right. And it's society, which includes, by the way, doctors, lab workers. You all need to change to accommodate. It's your fault.
What we want is for society to do the right thing and end weight stigma and end weight-based discrimination. We don't need a medication in order to fix
Imagine the smell under that
civil
neck.
rights and a human rights problem. We need societal change. Period.
Okay. Here's the truth. You're right. Most people don't need a pill. You need discipline. And here's the thing. You may say some people have it tough, sure, but any way you slice it, my perspective requires more discipline than yours. The person's perspective who works to be healthy, they are more disciplined, they put more effort into their life, and they are more useful to society in general than your perspective. Now, you may have a problem with discipline and say it's a byproduct of oppressive patriarchy. Fine. The truth is that life choices have consequences. Fat is not an immutable characteristic. By the way, I would also argue transgenderism is not. That's a choice. Facilitating yourself into disability is not society's problem. Just to be clear. Here's another truth, by the way. These people obviously come from the progressive left, where they support socialized healthcare. That would be a disaster. Fat pride and obesity costs all of us, a lot of money. Employers and employees, $425 billion annually, $147 to $210 billion a year in medical costs alone. Diabetes, heart disease, cancer, raises everyone else's health insurance costs, just to be clear. You want to have no denial for pre-existing conditions with no caps and tell society that it should be fat, obese, and it's just as healthy as being fit? What do you think the consequences are? Do you think in any other small village or tribal-like society that fat people existed? They were eaten. They were eaten. You're so fat. My family's starving. Oh, let's just change that a little bit. Guess what? I work really hard so I can support my family and build a better future for my children. I now lose that money. The result of that work those resources to pay for you. Where's your sense of duty? Who are you serving? Aside from yourself at Golden Corral, who are you serving? This is the last one.
Lots of serving.
It's the last one. I'm gonna take it serious.
Too many servings, in fact.
1 in 5 children are obese today, okay? And they're more likely to be obese adults. You know what? This also affects our national security. This is why we have army ads with some fat broad and 2 mommies, and Russia and China laugh, and they have people on Ozempic and Dianabol with shredded abs to get their guys to join the military. 68% of active duty members in our military are obese, to be clear right now. It is the primary contributor to injuries for those in service, medical discharges. Just to give you an idea, part of the shortfall that we see in the military in 2022 to 2023, the military recruitment, right, they missed their goals. A big reason was due to obesity. So in Army, 25% short. In the Navy, 20% short. In the Air Force, 10% short. Do you have any idea how fat you have to be to not be eligible for the Air Force?
Dude, the BDUs, the camouflage uniforms should not come in XXX.
Oh, come on.
But it does.
And this is where we are right now. Like, it's not just about making fun of fat people. This woman is the public school teacher to your children. It's all part of the same ideology. They tell you to trust the science. By the way, don't even know this. Did a little bait and switch. A lot of the sources I just listed, CDC, WHO, the science, right? Oh no, all of a sudden, it's no longer legitimate. The science is legitimate when we're talking about an experimental injection that could not possibly have longitudinal studies. It can't possibly exist at that point. Taking it on faith, that's where you trust the science. But when you have measurable, quantifiable, over long periods of time and large populations, data that can be used to improve health outcomes beyond a shadow of a doubt, now it's about how you feel. Don't trust the science. It is evil. It is evil. And by the way, it's so predictable. This is why C. Matheson, if you guys didn't, this was during COVID, C. Matheson doesn't exist, was actually admitted to and praised at a conference for writing the paper titled Embracing Fatness as Self-Care in the Era of Trump. Was accepted for peer review. Now, I decided to write and submit my very own fat studies paper for presentation, and with the help of my brilliant researcher, I wrote an entire essay titled Embracing Fatness as Self-Care in the Era of Trump. I then submitted the abstract to the conference, and did I say that I wrote the essay? I meant to say it was submitted by C. Matheson, a wonderful and totally academically legitimate genderqueer fat pride activist.
Hello, I am C. Matheson. I am an activist based out of Austin, Texas, specifically working with the non-binary and fat community to help increase presence of intersectional and non-binary people with such events in Austin as Women's March, March for Our Lives, most recently the global climate strikes. My preferred pronouns are she and her.
And they took it seriously.
What a hottie.
They asked to have C. Matheson back.
No.
Like, after it was released, they still didn't catch on that it was a gag.
There need to be more marches. That would solve some of the problem.
Like a sea monster.
And nothing I wrote was stupider.
You're a big fat phony.
No offense to your, whoever that is.
Just feelings matter.
And by the way, as we mentioned, and please do comment below if this is something that you've run into, that you've experienced, and how you think it needs to be dealt with. I think shame is a useful tool as it relates to this. I really do. I really do. And by the way, when I see someone, there's a huge difference between someone who's overweight and working on it and someone who's advocating that everyone else also engage in the practice of putting themselves in a grave at an early age. There's a huge difference. I hope you understand that. And it is a double standard. We're going to get into the double standard of male-female body images in society at large. I'll give you a hint. I think it's actually worse on guys. Allow me to make my case. But as we mentioned before, Tovar, or Virgie, is the author of multiple books, including The Self-Love Revolution, Radical Body Positivity for Girls of Color, and You Have the Right to Remain Fat, which actually brings us to this week's 7+1. This week's 7+1, actually, she wrote other books as well.
Oh, really?
Not
Yeah.
all of them were published.
Okay, yeah.
This is 7+1 police-themed fat book titles.
Okay. as they should be.
Yes. Number 7, Josh.
The French Dip Connection.
Oh, I do love a good French dip.
That's true.
More au jus! Don't dip it in so it's nice and soft.
I want to drink it.
7+1 police-themed fat book titles. Number 6, Gerald.
NYPD Blue Bonnets.
Oh. Number 5.
Butter up, boys.
Number 5, Kinder Egg Cop. That was one that. Number 4, Josh.
Number 4, Bad Boys. Fried or Die.
Oh, the wisecracking.
Why not both?
Fried and died.
Yes, that's true. Number 3, fat. These are police-themed
Yeah.
fat pride books. Gerald.
Bavarian Phil's Cop.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You got to put the banana in the tailpipe.
7+1 police-themed fat book titles. Number 2, The Thick Blue Vein.
That's the best part.
Best part. And the number 1 of the 7+1 police-themed fat book titles, Stop, or My Cholesterol Will Shoot Through the Roof. And the +1, Josh, take us out.
21 Pump Drink.
Hey, that's what this week's 7+1.
You forgot Stefan in the chamber.
21 Pump Drink. That's a shout out to everybody who loves Dutch Brothers.
Yes. That's right. We do have them now in Texas. I remember.
I think so, yeah.
You know what? Here, too, I don't want to be somebody who doesn't provide some solutions. I mean, the solution, obviously, this is largely personal responsibility. But how about this? Comment below if you think that this makes sense. How about we start with if we want to solve the obesity problem? If we want to solve a health problem, because I get it, you can be larger, you can be smaller, and you can still be healthy. How about we limit any and all food stamps, EBT, subsidies to only healthy or raw ingredients, meaning milk, meat, eggs, fruit, vegetables. Yep, you can toss butter in
I
there.
say leave it to raw ingredients because you can find things that are raw. You can eat unhealthy and have your unhealthy lifestyle.
Sure.
And we're not going to be phobiaing you or whatever if you want to go buy noodles and cheese sauce. You know, you make an Alfredo by yourself. It's not the healthiest meal, but hey, I don't think you should be able to buy Alfredo candy.
Or no.
What?
What?
What kind of is that?
I don't know,
It's
but
a
now
new candy. It's an Italian candy.
my curiosity.
Yeah, it's a silky smooth cheese, hard candy
It's a crazy breadsticks candy cane.
from Lifesavers.
Yeah.
But
Well, a lot of states you can go to fast food restaurants.
Yes.
And then people bitch about a food desert. Well, who created the food desert?
I know. And by the way, before you think we're heartless, look up the number 1 thing that people buy that are on food stamps: soda.
Yeah.
About 10% estimates say go towards soda. All the purchases that are made.
And by the way, they have lobbyists who then go to the government and say, please ensure that EBT and food stamps continue to be permitted for soda. Oh, by the way, you know who else is really big on that? The corn lobbying for high fructose corn syrup.
Yep.
Like it does. When people say it doesn't affect me, it does. This is not about what you put in your body. This is about demanding that we pay for it and the ramifications and the laws that we have that protect what should be very much an unprotected class.
Meanwhile, Big Mike is being celebrated as this epitome of health.
Who's Big Mike?
Oh, Michelle Obama.
Oh,
wait.
Mikey Obama.
She's not over.
Mikey
old tripod Mikey.
Mikey O. Hey, that's me, buddy.
Wait, that's true.
You about to say something?
No, so,
What?
by the way, you know who else wants this? Coca-Cola. They estimate around 20% of their revenue in the United States comes from people on food stamps buying sugary drinks.
Yeah.
Candy is in the top 10. I believe all the prepackaged, like chips and popcorn and stuff like that, that's in the top 5 to 7 products that people buy. It's like, look, if we're subsidizing, this is survival. This isn't get fat off of eating this stuff. This isn't get as much sugar into your body as possible. A, that's not healthy. And B, that's not a good way to get calories anyway.
I can come to terms with paying for your eggs. I cannot come to terms with paying for your soda. Like, if you want a soda, go sell drugs or something like a normal person.
You do. This is the first time in history where we equate obesity with poverty. You realize that fatness used to be seen as a sign of wealth, used to be seen like, royalty, because they're one of the very few people who get to enjoy the luxury of overabundance. Now it's associated with poverty. Think about that for a second. When you see those commercials of how many people in the United States are starving, you go, but how do you have a higher percentage of poor people who are morbidly obese? How does that happen? At what point do you say, hey, hold on a second.
Yeah.
We're going to make this livable but uncomfortable because we want you. What incentive does someone have if they are poor and they get to enjoy nothing but empty calories and television and phones? How is that good for society? Right. And then they want to tell you, they advise your cities like San Francisco and tell you how to raise your kids, lest you be oppressive. So let's link EBT, any type of food stamp subsidies, to healthy raw ingredients. Here's another one. How about a tax credit for good health? Or people want to bitch about big pharma? Okay. How about we incentivize people, or maybe it goes into an HSA. Maybe it's a tax break where if you have a BMI within a certain parameter, blood work, where you are actually encouraged to take preventative care measures. That's one thing we don't actually take into account in this country. And you know who loves we just treat the symptom and throw pills at it. Well, yeah. Hey, you hate big pharma and you think we're over-medicated, but you don't want to deal with diet, exercise, and your weight? You don't want any kind of a solution. You want someone to pat you on your unsquatted ass and tell you that you're fine.
That's where they got their name, Big Pharma.
Yes.
Oh, look, they're calling Big Pharma.
They're calling Big Pharma.
Rolling down the hill.
I know I can tell that because the ground check when they come out.
Hey, Big Pharma.
Go on down yourself to the swamp, pick your bayou, pick yourself a Big Pharma.
Hey, if you like this video, we're probably like-minded and you may enjoy some more content. You could click that video, watch another one, or tune in weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Because we're the same. You and me. We're kindred spirits.